Hello friends and welcome. On day one of the Bali major, Gaimin Gladiators played Quest for 2 hours in a single match. That is extremely uncommon in the pro scene, a little bit more common in the pub scene, but honestly still pretty rare. I thought it won't help you in that many of your games. Your games don't usually go this far, but I still love this stage of the game. I just think it's so interesting. This is Lord Gaimin's territory. Normal Dota players were never meant to go this far for this long, 2 hours of Dota at one time. So I find it very interesting. So this isn't even so much as analysis, so much as like theory crafting. And I want to focus on itemization for this video, since if we talked about like everything, it would go on even longer than the 2 hours they played. So first, let's start at 60 minutes. This is where many games actually get decided because tier 5 neutrals come out. You can already see there's like absurd damage on kills like this. The game is becoming very fast. At the same time, very slow because of how fast things will happen. When Divine Rapiers come out, death comes fast. It is instant in the night. And because of that, everyone plays extremely cautiously, and that's why the games tend to drag out. But this is one of your spikes of timing here, because the tier 5 neutrals, many of them are absolutely busted in my opinion. So first, let's describe a good approach to the ultra late game. The barracks, they're still good to get because they will push your lane in. But ultimately, you can fight wherever. So even if you're like, say, Quest and you get Mega'd, they can still win because Megas don't do that much to them at this stage. It depends on the heroes you have. But a Medusa who like is going to pick up a Divine Rapier with Split Shot, she does not care about Megas. And the enemy team, if they come in here and Gaimin Gladiators throw and they don't have buyback or something, then the death timers will be so long that the whole team can just walk straight down mid. Maybe someone defends the Megas, and then they can like take the base. They wait, fortify out 30 seconds. You're still dead. 125 seconds, at this stage of the game. So every fight you have to be very careful of. And although it's good to get buildings and it'll help you, it is not a guaranteed win. And the fights will be extremely quick because you have a lot of blinks. In fact, spoiler alert, I'm going to show you their late game itemization. You have a lot of blinks to instantly jump at people and then like hex them, blink, hex, and then, oh, that guy's hexed, quick, everyone jump in. So everyone blinks in and hits them with their Divine Rapiers and tries to kill them in 1 second. And they succeed because they're hitting for like 1,000 to 2,000 damage a hit, attacking super fast at this point of the game. So everyone dies real fast. You have to be very careful with how you position, and that's why Lincolns come up quite a lot to like block hexes, block abyssals. Evasion's pretty good because there's only so much armor can do for you. Like, oh, I reduced the 2,000 damage hit, so I only took like 700 health, and that sounds like a big reduction, but keep in mind, they attack 5 times in like a second. I mean, not that fast, like 5 times in like 2 seconds, and you're stunned that entire time. You're hexed up. And okay, I took 700 damage, but times 5, that is still my full health pool, and now I am dead. So evasion to totally miss the damage can be really good. That's why sometimes you see late game MKBs, and why I think Revenant's Brooch should actually be explored a little bit more along with the BKB changes. Revenant's Brooch, which we didn't see this game, you get attack speed when you activate it, you get True Strike, and your attacks do magic damage, which was hard countered by BKB in the past, which is why no one really explored it. Also, this is like a very difficult item to get to, but now BKB actually only increases your magic resistance, and in the late game, actually, let's just jump back in here. Let's just pick a hero, Bloodseeker, right? He's got 65% physical reduction, so when you're only doing physical damage, that's a lot. When he pops BKB, it's going to jump up to a similar amount, so that is unfortunate. But when BKB is down, his magic resistance is a lot less. So Revenant's Brooch will make you do tons of damage and True Strike through the butterfly anytime BKB is not down. And when it's up, it's pretty much the same as attacking him without the Revenant's Brooch. Invisibility is really powerful. They have silver edges because they're dealing with Timber, who has tons of armor through reactive armor. But I think Invis is just good in the ultra late game as well because no one can carry detection. Everyone's slots are filled, so supports kind of have to try to fit something in, but sentries, dust, gems, right? They are not going to help you as much potentially killing heroes as like a Hex, a Divine Rapier. So it feels like you want to swap them out, but then like, oh, that's a free get out of jail card, right? I just Silver Edge and walk away unless there's like nullifiers or hexes and abyssals in play that prevent me from Silver Edging. But the nullifiers, become a little less common because nullifier isn't actually hard lockdown. So if you nullify someone but they just hit you with 3 rapiers, you die. So then you're like, okay, I got to hex or abyssal them, in which case maybe you can use it before they silver edge, but if you don't, then they're just going to get away for free. So I think silver edges become really powerful. And then a lot of people think about the refreshers, the moon shards, the ags you get from Roche, all that stuff. All of that is good and true. It depends on the game, like how valuable those are going to be. But I think supports should actually focus a lot on farming once you approach this end game. Many cores and pubs especially will still just like farm like crazy. Oh yeah, I need my backup divine rapier and all my like. Look at this. Like so much gold is just sitting in the backpack because Medusa can't even use it all. And then at this point they had enough money to like fill out their slots. But in like pub games, especially from like 60 to 90 minutes, when supports have a lot of room to grow with itemization, especially considering they might pick up a couple divine rapiers throughout the course of a chaotic fight, they need to have items as well to enable their cores to do damage. Like, look at this. Arcane Blink Hex from a Shadow Demon can now set up this Snapfire or this Medusa to kill people with a Divine Rapier. Or he picks up a Divine Rapier, and now he is going to Blink Hex, kill someone with his attacks with a 2 Divine Rapiers. So I think it's really important for supports to start farming once you think the game is going to go late and drag out a bit. Now, all of that out of the way, just to say that I think some of the neutrals are baits. So like Stygian Desolator, I don't think is worth it. I think the damage compared to like the divines in the game is not going to mean much. I think 10 armor when people have like 40 armor, I don't know. This is where I'm torn. To a degree, I kind of think it's cool to have like armor reduction, but on the other hand, I think like against some heroes, it's just like not as relevant as having another divine rapier or something. For example, because you don't need some kind of move speed or dispel anymore because you have force boots, which give you tons of move speed, and the force staff and the dispel all in one slot. The seer stone's good for the extra cast range, to blink further and hex people, all that. The Mirror Shield, I'm talking so much about the Blink, Hex, Abyssals. Mirror Shield protects you a little bit from that because you will block and reflect the spell, and so maybe Snapfire tries to initiate onto you with this and actually hexes herself, and now you get to kill Snapfire in the few seconds. I think Apex is a bait. 70 damage, not that much on Agility hero, like especially compared to like Stygian Desolator, right? You do get armor and attack speed, so that part's kind of good, so I'm kind of open to it on Agility heroes, especially like Illusion heroes. But strength heroes, you know, they're next best. You get the health, but you'll still get shredded by like 3 attacks from triple divine rapier. So like, I don't love it. I'd much rather have like True Sight from Book of the Dead that frees up all your, like we were talking about, you don't have enough space for detection. So Book of the Dead can safely scout out for you. It can remove wars. It can be your True Sight in the fights. I think that one's really good. Fallen Sky's like a blink that stuns in an AoE, so that's kind of cool. Stat-wise, it's not all that great, though, and the stun is delayed by 1 second. So let's say someone blink Abyssals. It takes you 1 second to close that time. You do stun again, so maybe that's why it's fine, but at the same time, someone else on the enemy team could have already saved that hero with something. So kind of iffy on that. Arcanist armor, I think, is a bait. I've seen it in this game. I saw it in Team Spirit versus PSG LGD. I've seen it in a couple of my ultra late games. If you look at the breakdowns, it actually just doesn't do that much. Like, let's look at Celery. This is him with his Divine Rapiers, right? Doing tons of damage. This is the Arcanist armor. I think it's just very difficult to use in these late game fights. And it may be the pro teams just aren't practiced with them, which is totally fair. Like, no one really plans for this stage of the game. But the actual return damage just never amounts to much, it seems. And in theory, it's cool, like 40% return damage, but you have to activate it. And when people are being killed in 1 to 2 seconds, that is not easy. If you're the guy with Arcanist armor and they initiate on you, you don't even activate it unless you're like super fast, which is tough to like blink hex. If you're a support holding it and you see the core, get jumped, you have to get next to the core. You have to activate Arcanist armor, but all that's going to happen is that you reflect 40% of the damage. It doesn't actually save your core who is being like killed while controlled. And if they're taking like, say you get hit for 1,000 damage, you reflect 400 damage. Your armor mitigates that 1,000 damage. Their armor mitigates the 400 damage. Plus, it's rarely going to be like a one-on-one fight, Medusa versus Bloodseeker. Like, multiple heroes are hitting this like initiated on Bloodseeker. And so they all take 40% damage of their own attacks, but he's taking 100% of all the attacks. He's going to die first. So in my opinion, like, it ends up being a bit of a bait. It's not very good. 20% magic resistance seems like potentially the best part of it. 5 armor, pretty like meh. So I've never been impressed seeing Arcanist armor, even though conceptually it sounds good. The actual practice seems like too difficult. Pirate Hat is really good for the attack speed with all the Divine Rapiers, some move speed, and reliable gold from the bounty runes, I think, is super solid. Ex Machina, reset all your cooldowns, and 20 armor. So just in fights, 20 armor is a ton for all this physical damage from the Divine Rapiers. And then you can do things like force buildings, because you can like come up, like say you're this Snapfire. First off, you want to kill someone, Silver Edge, Hex, BKB, shoot them all, Ex Machina, Hex them again, BKB when you need to again, Silver Edge out. And you can do that every 25 seconds with Ex Machina. Or you want to like force this building, you BKB, run up. If they don't have abyssals or any natural way to deal with BKBs, you BKB, walk up, hit the building like a few seconds, walk away, Ex Machina, you've got your BKB again. You wait 25 seconds for Ex Machina to be up compared to the 90 seconds of BKB. Like, this is absurdly busted in my opinion. The mana cost is very much. It's like, it's kind of painful. But when you have an item like Hex, which gives you tons of mana regen, you can Ex Machina like 1 to 3 times, depending on like how much intelligence and mana regen you've got, before you like have to chill a little bit. And it depends on your spells, sure, but you can typically use Ex Machina at least once without it being a major issue in the ultra late game. But for someone like Snapfire, she got the Hex, got some regen through that, and the Hurricane Pike, like she can use this like 1 or 2 times before it's a real issue. Giant's Ring is good because it gives you move speed, strength, and then the free pathing I think is really solid. And then the Book of Shadows is like an actual save. When someone gets blink hexed or whatever, you come and you make them untargetable. They might still die to like AoE stuff, but you can protect them from a lot of these Divine Rapiers or protect yourself every 8 seconds plus the basic Dispel. You can use it aggressively as well. You can use it on the enemy. You don't want the Medusa attacking. Just remove her from the fight for a few seconds. Your team probably can't kill her in that time, but you can maybe kill all her teammates or something. So I think Book of the Shadows is a really good one, just a little bit hard to use potentially. Let's take a look at a couple of the fights. I haven't really watched all these, so we're just going to see together what we can learn. So Timber, super tanky. He just gets to go in on his own with all these reactive armor stacks. You see him jumping up to like 80% here. Looks like Quest are going to commit everything. Timber's probably not the right guy to go on, but if you are going to commit on someone, just throw things out because every kill is so big, and if you force a buyback, you just reset, wait for all your cooldowns, because all cooldowns in the game are less than buyback. Buyback is the greatest cooldown, besides Roshan, if you want to think about that maybe, but buybacks are massive to force out. We said it's like the win condition in these games, so if you're going to go, do it, throw everything out, and that's kind of what just happened here. They're going to try to go out, and then they feel on GG that, okay, they used like a lot of big ults, like let's try to fight. So let's see, he Ruptured, Snapfire. We're going to have to play slow motion. So much is going to happen. Rupture's pretty good because it's pure damage in the late game. Medusa starting to fight, disarmed by the Techie's Shard. I think Wall is not as good because I don't think the illusions copy the Divine Rapier damage. So that's actually a plus towards Divine Rapiers, but maybe a negative to illusion heroes and someone like Darkseer. So Wall kind of off the mark from the stuff. And then the Snapfire talent is actually really good. This +6 Mortimer Kisses that you can get at 25 if you didn't go for all these damage talents instead for the Divine Rapiers. But you just launch the Mortimer's Kisses faster, so it's actually tons of damage really quickly. And so even though Darkseer is BKB'd, this is due to the BKB change. He's not spell immune, so he's still taking damage here from these magic globs, along with the attacks from Medusa coming in. Are you gonna die? He dead. Okay, what's happening over here? How did Quinn get so low? See, looks like Quinn got hit by the globs along with the multi-shot of Medusa, and he's just getting like right-click down, even with his massive amount of armor. Let's see if he dies here. He does. Let's check his death summary, right? So even with 80% physical damage reduction, right? Medusa was attacking really fast. Same with Snapfire, and they still killed him. Over here, Bloodseeker's trying to fight. That was kind of close. She popped a Satanic, I think. Oh, wait, maybe. Oh, no, she did, because then she Ex Machina'd. I'm telling you guys, this is a good item. And then they're going to get out, because they got the buybacks they wanted. They don't know Bloodseeker doesn't have buyback. Oh, he's really close, though. I think everyone should prioritize buybacks in the late game. I don't know if any item is really worth it compared to buyback. even, I don't know, if you're desperate and you need like the Hex or Divine Rapier, maybe you do. But I think in general, having buyback compared to like the slight upgrades after that are not really worth it. Okay, I found a good example of what I was talking about the instant deaths. So we've got a lot of Divine Rapiers coming out in this game now, a lot of Hexes, some Abyssals. And so Bloodseeker here, he is pretty tanky. 4,000 health plus, he's got the shield from his Ags, he's got 74% physical reduction, 53% magic resistance, along with BKB when he activates that. He's got damage block from Abyssal. He's got evasion. He's got a ton of auras from his teammates, which are already factored into the reduction, so whatever. He's going to walk up here thinking he's okay, but this ward from Quest is going to spot him out. And this is like their perspective, right, as GG. So instantly a Blink Hex from Underlord, TA 2000, kind of already in position. Maybe they discussed this. Maybe they saw him coming in. He was already kind of up here. He's also kind of the front line for this anyways, because he's like the super tanky Medusa. And then Snapfire blinks in with her Swift Blink, activates a little Shredder, and then I'll just let this play out right. He's dead instantly. One more time, because I paused in the middle of that. This is your life as Bloodseeker. All right. He was gone right away, and the whole rest of the team, they all just need to get out, and it's really difficult to escape when someone else is like Blink Hexed or Shadow Demon ulted, stuff like that. And so that's kind of what I mean. The whole team now has to be in retreat mode. All of these fights are determined very, very quickly. There's now a Divine Rapier sitting in the back. Let's see if Quest knows it's here, if they'll pick it up. Oh, they should. Oh yeah, they're paying. Who's getting it? Who's getting it? Underlord, is it your turn? Ooh, oh shit, Silencer Divine, let's go. Oh, and his Hex, there you go. So now Silencer's a threat as well. He picked up his Moon Shard. Now he can like Force Staff in, Hex someone, and then slap him for like 600 damage. Maybe a bit of a mistake from Noob here, but I can show you guys another example of ultra late game Dota here. So pushing out the side lanes this way, I think it's pretty dangerous to split push, and looks like maybe they were trying to go for this kind of thing on Gaimin Gladiators. They're all like suddenly TPing down here and trying to like rush over here. I think Noob probably thought they were like waiting for Roche up here. I jumped forward in time and we're still going, you know, we still got a lot of time here. So Noob's gonna push up here, and actually we'll just show you, right, he's coming up here. He reveals himself on this attack, so GG now sees him. They're gonna instantly come over and try to jump this guy, but Timbersaw does not have a Hex, and Bloodseeker has Abyssal, but didn't quite get in time there to go Invis, so they actually can't see her now and are just like running around. So in your pubs, if you're a Noob, you probably get out here, but Techies makes it just in time with the gem that he still happens to be carrying, and this is why you're like torn. You kind of need to carry the gem for this sort of stuff, but the gem feels weird compared to some of this, like, you know, massive expensive late game items. Doesn't it feel better to carry any of those? Look what he's got in his backpack. He's got a Lotus, Boots of Travel, he's got this Aether Lens, but yeah, you need the gem for these Invis heroes. So bit of a mistake from Noob probably. Now we got two Divine Rapiers. They can't even figure out what to do with all these Divine Rapiers. Techies, it's time for like right click build. Let's go. Bloodseeker, now Bloodseeker's double Divine, you know, so now he's got to swap out things. He can't figure out what he wants to swap either. This is like the tough part about ultra late game Dota, and I can't tell you guys what's best. Even getting Roche can feel a little weird. So like Bloodseeker took it, but his inventory is so messed here, right? And this is where Aegis can actually be kind of funny, because usually it's such a powerful thing for most of Dota, but in the ultra late game, it's actually taken up one of my slots for my other Divine Rapier. Now, the good thing about this is that you don't drop the Divine Rapiers when you die with an Aegis. You respawn with it. So in that sense, it's still pretty good. And frankly, with these 5 items, he can still kill heroes extremely quickly. So I do think it's kind of okay to still go for the Aegis and take it, but some heroes actually will choose not to take it in favor of like some of the items they hold. And honestly, I don't know what's better. But I still think it's worth doing Roshan regardless, because you get like Ags or Refresher Shards and stuff for your teammates, and that's how you can kind of like bump up some of the support players' net worth. When you started, these guys were at like 20k, around that range. Now they've all like doubled in value. I guess that makes sense. We're like, we're gone into like another hour of the game, but their net worths, right, have not increased relatively as much, and I think that's important to like share net worth to your teammates. I don't even know what he should drop, but Timbersaw not having any way to cancel things, and this is kind of what the Hex and the Abyssal are, to catch people split pushing like this, I think is pretty big. But again, I look at this and it's like, I don't know. What do you change for a Hex? Maybe this Kaya and Sanj. But you might have to do a bunch of math on the numbers of like how much mana regen and extra health regen is he getting from this. So then is it worth like, oh, Shivas, you know, like maybe I don't need this and I can get the Hex instead. But then this reduces the attack speed of the enemy and reduces their heals. And, you know, it's also armor for yourself. So I really don't know what he would swap out, but it does feel bad when this kind of stuff happens and you could have caught someone. He did bring Techies with him, but then like he just revealed himself. So Techies was supposed to be the one who would help with this. And on Techie's side, Techies doesn't have like the blinks that we've been talking about. What would he replace? I don't know, because Techies is kind of like, the plan is for him to be in the back line with the true side, I think. You know, cast your Lincolns on your target, Hex from afar, Arcanist armor, I guess, right? But then he can't catch people like this. So Gaimin Gladiators have megas at this point. There's just a gem on the ground over here. My God. We are truly into ultra late game Dota. We have so many Divine Rapiers in here, tons of the blinks we were talking about. So they're just going to try to like come in here and force it. They have the Aegis on the Bloodseeker. Celery is actually the one just attacking buildings, which is hilarious. So he pops BKB, he blinks in, and he just starts hitting things to do tower damage because he's got 333 bugged, I think. I think it should also include this 350 plus any raw damage from this stuff like the BKB. So I think he should have an extra like 375-ish damage right here. So I think he's hitting for like 600 right now. Monteracio has like 700, but maybe doesn't want to reveal himself right now. Well, I guess he's in the enemy base, but like he doesn't want to be the one on point because he wants to choose his target to blink Abyssal and then like try to kill with the Divine Rapier. So he doesn't want to be the one getting caught like this, which is Celery being forced to BKB now while trying to do this. Man, I feel like we need to slow down. There's so much going on here. Let's go to all perspective here. So I think, honestly, GG should just back out here. That was a lot of tower damage, and I think you should just wait for, like, BKB and do it again. This is why Ex Machina is so good. But, like, if they don't have a good way to deal with the BKBs, and their carries are both ranged, so, like, they don't want to carry Abyssals, but Abyssals are the only way to, like, really prevent this kind of stuff, I think it's an advantage GG have. But they're kind of, like, still in here. Maybe they're trying to get out, but it's a little slow. Okay, that was a lot. So maybe they feel like they can fight now. Kind of still think just like wait the BKB. So he comes in. Do you have Ex Machina? What the heck? I guess he had a refresher shard or refresh or something because he's in here with another BKB. Wall on the illusions, unfortunately. Look at that damage. Alright. I feel like you just reset. I don't know. Okay, Doracio's going in. They're saving him for now. He's taking insane amounts of damage. Getting shredded by this Medusa who has her own Divine and MKB, and she's got the Pirate attack. So she attacks insanely fast. And then some crits on the Silver Edge. See it? Fighting to the death. Oh my God. Everyone's dying here. Holy shit. Analysis? No way. So here's what Boots of Travel 2 is really good for. He used Boots of Travel to get here, popped Refresher so that it refreshed his... Oh, maybe he used it beforehand. No, these are still on cooldown. I'm looking. We gotta go see. Just kidding, guys. I forgot Refresher doesn't work in your backpack anymore. So he used it earlier in this fight, and I guess after you use it, you just have to take it out to let it cool off, you know, let it reset. That's an extra challenge for ultra late game Dota, which a lot of people like to just keep in the backpack. So anyways, he dies, buys back, and this is what Boots of Travel 2 is really good for, because creeps die super easily at this stage, even megas. So Boots of Traveling onto heroes is a little safer. In this case, he does go on a creep. But the other thing that I forgot to say earlier is like we saw the techies go on the Timber to try to join in on this kill on the Underlord. That's another thing the Boots of Travel 2 are good for, is try to find these pickoffs. So he came in to retrieve his Divine Rapier. He's got a little bit of inventory management there. Should I pick up these other 2 rapiers? Is 2 enough? No, I'll get 3. Why not? I guess Butterfly in the back. I can't say I disagree. Maybe instead of the BKB? I don't even know. All right, so what else is going on? Silencer dead for 100. We just ruptured someone. Amar. Ace maybe going in. Wait, whoa. He doesn't take damage for that? He just got yeeted. Wait a second here. The game knowledge on this guy to know he was not about to just kill his Underlord, launching him from Gobble Up. I guess it makes sense. I can't see any of Underlord's like health bars and stuff, so I guess he's still like non-existent in the game. It's still like coded being inside Snapfire until he like actually lands. Or if he got shot a shorter distance, would Rupture have taken place because he's like, this is too far for Rupture to calculate? Because I forget the exact distance, but if you go far enough into like a single blink, which I guess maybe is what Gobble Up counts as. That was wild. I can't believe that worked. And instantly just cast his ult to come out and join the fight again, despite still being ruptured. Okay, Rupture ended at the very end there. How come they can't win this? It's 5 versus 4. Kind of focusing different targets. He jumped in. Got disarmed there. He jumped in, but the Abyssal activated Cold-Blooded, which sent back an Aghanim Snake, which stunned him. So here he is sitting with 1,200 damage, and he can't hit the Medusa, which I'm pretty sure like 6 attacks probably would have killed her or something. I guess she still got Shadow Demon behind her anyways. But because of that, he has to like run, and then he gets killed by all these heroes because of all these divines. He has no like actual stats and survivability. Looking at it, I kind of like TA2000's balance. He actually rarely picks up more than 1 divine rapier, and I feel like it's because he's kind of like appreciating the value of these other things rather than just like the straight up damage. Not saying this couldn't work, but it feels like you really need to coordinate. If you're like, I'm going to go triple divine rapier, like so you guys have to stun for me and I go in and I just kill, and you guys like protect me, enable me. And then like this seems like more balanced between like I do a good chunk of damage, but I also have like the utility to hit through like evasion. I've got my own like invisibility. I can like force away. I got my BKB, stuff like that. Maybe that's the play. Maybe not having 2 to 3 to 4 divine rapiers is like too much. But then again, she's like not doing enough damage to kill someone like Quinn, and if she had like 1 more divine rapier, she probably does kill him. It is a fine balance here. There's so many divines on the ground. Holy shit. So let's check out the last fight that ended up winning them the game. They even have Aegis on Gaimin Gladiators for the Timber Saw. I don't really think his items have actually changed. We checked like an hour ago or something, and he still has like the same items. But I'm not really sure what to change to. But I really feel like hexes and stuff are huge. Like, I don't know if Timber being so tanky, like, I feel like they just ignore him, you know? But no, I don't know. I don't know if these do enough. I don't know if the double chakram's enough. I feel like he needs to enable the divine rapiers on his team, maybe. Well, anyways, let's watch the fight. So they're kind of pushing up as a group. Quest is, of course, all here together as well. They're trying to find the Shadow Demon, who's been a massive pain and has all the saves with the disruption. So Quinn's out here being like really tanky and all that, but he doesn't really threaten anyone and can't really like actually crowd control. They're chasing Silencer back here. Support battle here. Carry support. So we got double divine Silencer fighting single divine Chen, no divine Techies. That's the mistake. Where's the divine rapier on Techies? I think Techies did like an insane amount of damage with proximity mines this game though. Over here, he's a Dark Seer wall that again doesn't feel like that amazing. The illusion's dying like pretty fast. Then he's getting killed by all the damage. Swap in something. Or he wants this. He wants the mana regen? I don't even know. Disruption save. That's why they've been trying to get the Shadow Demon first, so that he can't do that to other people. But when you do it to yourself, it's still pretty annoying. Killed over here. Nice vacuum wall, but it doesn't really change that much, I guess. Oh my god, 4 Divine Rapiers down. Snapfire, where are you? Who are you teleporting to? Hello? Here we go. Okay, Snapfire in. I forgot we were on slow. That was probably the course of a second. Where did these divines even come from? Holy shit. Okay, so Snapfire lost 4 Divine Rapiers, had 2 backpacked for safety, 6 slotted instantly. Imagine losing 4 Divine Rapiers and coming back still having 2. That's what 2-hour Dota is. So then she just jumps in and immediately starts fighting again. And she's like way faster with more utility this time. It might even be better, I don't know. There's her ult. They're gonna find the Bloodseeker. Darkseer's down. Hey guys, this is Divine Rapier here, by the way. Celery trying to get in there. Does Celery have a backpacked one? Oh, classic mistake, Celery. You didn't have your extra Divine Rapier in the 2nd hour of Dota 2. Foolish. Oh man, so now what? They're chasing Timber. But I don't know. It feels like Timber's like, he's being the front line, drawing some attention, but it doesn't feel like he can actually threaten people. Because I really feel like magic drops off a lot in the late game. I think some of the huge spells like Chrono and Black Hole, they're like utility-focused spells. I feel like for him, like all these damage numbers, burning people's stats, that's probably still pretty good. But I don't know, people are so tanky, and if anyone has like any form of lifesteal, I feel like they out lifesteal with the Divine Rapiers this magic damage. Should Timbersaw have gone right click as well? Maybe. Well, I say that, but then he comes in here and kills TA2000. I guess TA2000 was already pretty low on the mana, also as his backpack divines. Maybe he shouldn't have done that. Celery was ratting the base, I think. Maybe he shouldn't have killed Celery, or maybe that was his plan to come back and defend. And do all that. So does Celery have BKB? Can he do it? Can he just BKB hit the building? That's one of the things you can always threaten in the ultra late game, the ratting and the BKBs. But I feel like there's enough damage back here. Dusa also bought back, lost her Divine, instantly picked one up again here. So many backpack. Oh, I love this. Oh my god, I love this base Crimson not being lost, because you can use this to prevent ratting. I forgot to say that's one of the other things besides the Abyssal to counter the BKB building hit. You have Crimson Guard to reduce some of it. You activate it and then drop it. I actually love this so much. So let's see, they push Celery away. He starts trying to like get into the base again, but over here they killed Techies and Timber, and then I don't think he can do enough on his own. He's trying. He's like coming in here like, get in here. Does he not have BKB? I feel like he needs to just BKB hit it, but I guess he would not have beaten this, so I guess it doesn't matter. Just trying to protect one more death from his stats. All right, I don't know if that was educational or interesting in the end, but I had a good time watching a 2-hour game, so hopefully you all did too. I think the draft was always leaning towards Quest because they get more value out of Divines since you got Split Shot and then like mini Split Shot on the Snapfire. But even then, you kind of saw like based on execution, one team can win, and to me, that's a lot of what pub ultra late game is. It's like whoever managed to stay as a group, get those like Blink Hex initiations, Blink Abyssals, BKB Force objectives, right? This game came down to more fights, but pubs I experience a lot of just like forced high ground sometimes. But yeah, it draft-wise can help, and you kind of see like they naturally leaned on higher on the damage for these two heroes, but in the end I think it's just like it's a lot of execution in pub game, ultra late game stuff. So yeah, that's that. Thanks for watching. Keep an eye out. We'll do other videos on this tournament. I promise, shorter, more focused. We'll do things like, oh, this Undying did really well, let's see how we can imitate it, stuff like that. So keep an eye out. See you there.